welcome to the link this Wednesday evening, and we are glad you join us. We are determined to continue giving information that helps you make business decisions. And in the studio, we have government, which is not the political government, but the business side of government, Uganda Development Bank. A while ago, we hosted Uganda Development Corporation, and now we have UDB. They are not the same, though they might have mandates that at some point intersect, but this is the bank. And in the studio, I have Mr. Samuel Maitum, who is the Director of Credit, Uganda Development Bank. Sam, welcome.
Thank you very much, Sam.
Basics first.
Yeah.
What does UDB do?
So UDB is a development finance institution that was set up by the government of Uganda. It's currently a private limited company, with the government having total shareholding. That is, we're represented, the people are represented there by the Ministry of Finance and Ministry of Privatization. Our mandate is to identify and finance viable projects that can generate socio-economic impact in certain key sectors of the economy. So we achieve this by a number of financial and non-financial interventions. So part of what we do is offer term credit, long, short-term credit, 4 to 15 years. We add in a grace period of 2 to 3 years to allow for establishment and things like that at reasonably affordable rates. Then we also do a number of other interventions. We do working capital and some short-term working capital financing, farmer group and value chain financing, private equity. We do buy into viable entities that will generate the kind of social economic impact that we are looking for to drive things. We look at green finance.
What do you mean by green finance?
So green finance, it's basically focused towards sustainability. In a way, we are borrowing that our current time on the planet from our children.
So it's environmental.
So it's environmental. So we want to look at projects that will safeguard the environment for future generations to ensure that, you know, the intervention now will kind of outlive ourselves and our children, our children's children.
So Sam, what makes the difference between you and the commercial banks is that you lend at a reasonable interest rate, which is a little less, but also your time is a little longer than the typical commercial bank, 15 years and about that 15 years. And your projects are aimed at having a socio-economic impact.
Precisely.
Not just any business.
It's not just any business. So it has to have a very large socio-economic impact. I think the other bit that we add in that commercial banks don't do, we have business advisory. We kind of get in there and work on some of the enterprise development, setting up systems, working on governance and things of the sort. We also do project preparation because part of our mandate is to start up businesses. So we are interested in ideas and converting those ideas into really good and viable bankable projects, not only for ourselves as UDB, but also, you know, make them attractive for, you know, the rest of the commercial banking space.
So if I have an idea that falls in those parameters, I can come?
Yes.
Let me ask then by joining this, who can come to you for support? Let me say I need now credit. You are the credit man. If I need credit, if not anybody, who?
So the people we target, first of all, it has to be a Ugandan registered entity. You know, it's your taxpayers' money, so you're entitled to utilize it if you have viable projects. We also, you know, like I'd mentioned, startups, expanding businesses. We are also looking at projects with high development impact where you're going to have a lot of job creation, direct, indirect, induced employment, businesses that will generate a lot of tax revenue because you're taking from the pool, you have to fill that in as well. Companies that will, you know, generate foreign exchange for the country, that will also save us foreign exchange. So that's why we focus on things like import replacement, import substitution type industries and export enhancement. We also, you know, it has to be a feasible project. We like projects that are feasible. We want, you know, socially and environmentally responsible type projects. Then the key sectors we're targeting, we want, you know, the projects in primary agriculture, anything to improve productivity and efficiency. We want agro-processing, because much as we have extra harvest, how do we do it post-harvest? What value do we add to that? So once we've added value to that, then we want to target industry.
Okay.
So what can we make, what capital items can we construct? I mean, the sort of developing appropriate technologies to utilize all our local outputs and, export those, generate revenue, generate employment.
So things in agricultural value chain.
Yes.
What other sectors?
So that's agriculture value chain, that's industry, manufacturing.
Okay.
We also look at tourism and hospitality.
Okay.
We have to take advantage of, we're gifted by nature.
Hope the tourism people are listening. They have been hit very hard.
Yes, they have. Yes, they have. So other than tourism and hospitality, we're also focusing on human capital development.
What does that mean, human capital development?
So those are projects in health, for example.
Okay.
Are you setting up a hospital? Are you setting up a specialized, take care of the worker, take care of the citizen? Then also in education, but biased towards vocational and technical education, because these are the people who will be the same technicians in agriculture, the same people that will service industry and,
okay.
that sort of thing.
The trillion shillings question.
Yeah.
Is the trillion shillings promised to be released through you as a stimulus package for government for real? How will it work if it comes?
So the trillion shillings is very real. And it's not really a stimulus package. It is capitalization.
Okay.
So that is to enable us to, run all sorts of interventions. We have earmarked a substantial portion of that for, some, what I'll call emergency sort of interventions, targeting import replacement, because you saw with COVID-19, a lot of the value chains were impacted, disrupted.
Yes.
So how do we make ourselves more self-sustainable as a nation? And that's what we're going to be targeting a lot in the import substitution, export enhancement space. Then we also need that money to finance our existing pipeline. Okay. We did have a number of projects that we had kind of started to appraise and would need this money disbursed to them. So we'll be able to kind of see those to fruition, disburse, and benefit from the impact from there. We also leverage on that same money, that 1 trillion will enable us to generate further lines of credit. So by up to, say, 200%. Okay. So a trillion all of a sudden becomes up to 3 trillion shillings. And you can imagine the kind of, development outcome we can.
So I am listening to you, and we are concluding here. I'm listening to you, and I'm thinking, I think I qualify, but that is my own viewpoint.
Yes.
You are a credit man. Tell me, roughly 2-3 things that I need to have so that I start to come to you, and you might even consider me. And here we're doing specifics.
Yeah. Okay, so I think the key things would be your track record.
Yes.
What is your track record? Do you have a good financial track record? Again, what kind of experience do you have in this particular industry? If it's an existing industry, what are you going to do to enhance, how do you want to enhance your output? Is it a new line you want to go into? Then not only that track record, the good financial track record, the numbers themselves also have to add up. What are your projections like? Are they realistic? Have you tested them? Have you built in a scenario like now COVID-19?
Yes,
if it happens after you've taken this money, what happens? What happens? How do I continue paying? How do I remain sustainable? And I think the key thing, the key focus for us is around the sustainability. So it has to outlive you. The project has to outlive you. It has to, go beyond the bank or your lifetime. Okay. So, care for the planet, profit, and people. So
PPP.
Yes.
That brings us to the end. I almost prematurely. We never have enough time, but we'll bring you back, Samuel, to explain more about UDB. Viewers, UDB exists, and now government is showing real support for this bank, Development Bank, for you to be able to access money. Of course, you must do your homework. You must have a good business proposition. Otherwise, the money is not for free. And you must prepare to pay it back, but at a more reasonable interest rate than the banks. Please visit UDB for more information. That was the link. Thank you for joining us tonight. We hope we benefited you.